Have you ever heard of an old game called The Theater? Yeah, I didn't think so. Probably because many say it doesn't even exist. You see, The Theater was an old game released the same time as Doom. Today, if you find it, it's only available on a crappy bootleg CDs, which, more often than not, don't even actually contain the game. The actual legitimate copies that they say were released back in the day feature a blank cover with nothing more than a sprite, which since has been named the Ticket Taker. He is a poorly drawn, pixelated, bald Caucasian male with large red lips wearing a red vest over a large white shirt and black pants. He's completely expressionless, though some say if you smash the disc, his face will be shown as angry next time you look at the cover, though this is dismissed as an urban legend. What's peculiar about The Theater, though, is that no developer is named on the jewel case, nor the game has a description on the back. It's simply the Ticket Taker on a white background on both sides. The game was initially known for its inability to install correctly. The installation process immediately locks up the computer when the user reaches a license agreement. Also strange about the license agreement for Theater is that whenever the developing studio is supposed to be named, the text is simply a blank line. Anyways, most people have claimed to owning one of the original CDs that they say they figured out how to install the game correctly by simply rebooting their computer on the license agreement while the disc is still inside. Then they are prompted to press I agree on startup. Then they continue the installation process. If a player supposedly manages to find what they believe is a working copy, they have said the installation window will freeze up and stop respawning before you can click the next button. But they also do say that their PCs do not lock up, and it's only the installer that freezes. It is unknown these are actual copies or fakes. What is widely thought that these working copies are just to draw internet attention with no proof of the installation effects. Upon proper installation, the game starts up without any introductions besides the main menu. It's simply prompted with a sprite of the theater's interior on an empty street. The title fades. 3 menu buttons appear. New game. Load. Options. Selecting options immediately crashes the game back to desktop. Load said to have no function at all. Even if you do save, nothing happens when you press it. Thus, new game is the only working option. Once you select it, you are put into first-person view. You are standing in an empty theater lobby, with exception of the Ticket Taker, standing in front of the dark hallway, which one can only assume leads to theaters themselves. There's nothing to do besides look at the poorly drawn, mostly illegible movie posters or approaching the Ticket Taker. Once a player moves towards the Ticket Taker, a very low quality sound. Once a player moves towards the Ticket Taker, a very low quality sound clip plays saying, "Thank you, please enjoy the movie," along with a speech box saying exactly the same thing. Then you walk into the hallway and the screen fades to black, and you're back in the lobby to do the exact same thing again and again and again. While this may sound like a really horrible game, a number of peculiar things occur when you continue to play it. The number of times you continue into the hall, even the Ticket Taker your ticket, before the strange event occurs, is unknown. Most state it's completely random, and will take anywhere between the first playthrough or the 400th. Whatever happens, though, has deeply disturbed some players. The first occurrence is when the player fades back to the hallway. This time they will notice the ticket taker is completely absent. The player, then without any options, decides to walk into the dark hallway. The sound clip in the text box is still playing in the absence of the ticket taker. But when the player walks into the hallway, the screen does not fade out. It simply goes pitch black as they go deeper into the hall. The player's footstep sounds still play as they continue to push their way up to the button on their keyboards. Those claiming to have played the original game report to having felt extremely uncomfortable walking down the hallway, anticipating the whole way something horrible happening. Well, eventually the player is unable to move forward. There is nothing but a few moments before the strange sprite that is described as a ticket taker, but with nothing but a swirl for a face, appears and stands before the player. The original players of the game say their bodies immediately froze up and their stomachs churned as they saw the sprite, which, appropriately named, the Swirly Head Man. Nothing happens as the Swirly Man stands before them. Then, suddenly, a piercing screech as the game glitches out. The last few minutes, with the screeching being continuous. Then the players abruptly return to the lobby where all the sounds and graphics are where they should be. The game continues as normally. For a few cycles of entering the hallway with a couple of original players claiming the Swirly Man will briefly appear and disappear in the corner of the screen as briskly with a yelp sound effect plays. Then, at some point after meeting the Swirly Head Man, the player then sees the ticket taker pacing back and forth. While there's no walking animation, the sprite's limbs are completely static. So, he just hops up and down slightly as a substitute, with his eyes wide open, his mouth simulated with a worried expression. Some players have noted the movie poster has been replaced with the Swirly Head Man's image, which have caused them to immediately turn their heads away from the posters and approach the ticket taker. Then another low-quality sound clip plays, but the speech box contains nothing but corrupted characters that cause whatever text to be completely illegible. Due to the low quality of the sound, it is debated that what exactly the ticket taker says at that point, though it's widely agreed that he says, "Never reach the other levels." Then the screen fades out once again and returns the player to the starting point in the lobby, but the ticket taker is gone. And the hallway is blocked up with a large brick wall sprite. Touching the brick wall will crash the game, and that's all there is to it. No one knows what the other levels are, or how to gain access to them, nor know why the Swirly Man causes an acute fear in those who see him. But the creepiest part is the fact that all the original players of the game have occasionally to see a glimpse of the Swirly Head Man out of the corner of their eyes.
Thank you. Please enjoy the movie.